Hi, Rosebud here. So today I wanted to talk about how to find prehistoric sacred sites in North America. I recently was up in Marlborough, New York, and I visited a place that had an ancient solstice calendar, but also just a viewing spot. It aligns with the north, south, east, and west to create a perfect alignment for the winter and summer solstice, where the sun shines through the chambers of a rock formation that's shaped like a turtle, and then they would etch in each year where the sun hit, so you can see up to 12,000 years ago, which was really incredible to see. And around this rock, there were other features too. And so I kind of wanted to talk about the things you might look for to find something like this, because after I visited this site, I went to West Virginia and I took some of the information that I learned from Marlborough, from the Turtle Rock formations, and used it and ended up finding another sacred ancient site in West Virginia. So I thought, okay, I should probably share this. Okay, yeah, so for thousands of years, those native to the land would come across geographical features that would look like things like snakes or turtles that also aligned with astrological events, solstices, and in the example of Turtle Rocks, it aligns with the Milky Way and the Pleiadian system specifically. So this location is by a spring, and if you're in the woods, especially around on the Blue Ridge from Georgia all the way up to Maine, there's so many springs and creeks. You want to look for signs of abundance, and I would say mushrooms, moss, lots of plant life, animals, like even more insects. So that gets me to West Virginia, where I'm hiking at Carnifex Ferry State Park. And there is an ancient pathway, which there was also an ancient stone pathway at Turtle Rock. And there are a lot of prehistoric sites. The Kanawha River, which the Gauley River, where Carnifex State Park is actually has some of the most prehistoric mounds, they think, in North America. So there's Stone Path, and the Gauley River is so gorgeous and has this very snaking shape, and the names of the things in the area like Copperhead, Viewpoint, and things that invoke images of snakes. So we are walking through an old growth forest, and that's one of the things that was at Turtle Rock. It was an ancient old growth forest network, which means the trees are all connected through one mother tree, and they're really, really old. So we're walking through the ancient growth forest, and there's a stone path, and we see signs of a spring. So we're coming up on signs of a spring. We see moss and mushrooms and turkeys and lots of birds, and just the whole environment kind of changes when you get it near a spring, where you just see like how it's an oasis, no matter if you're already in a super abundant area. So we locate a spring and a huge network of old growth rhododendron bushes, and we were just blown away at this. And at this point, we see right at the center of the rhododendron, it kind of looks like a standing stone, like a stone that was placed. And I also felt like I was seeing lots of arrowheads and tools around there. And then just a couple feet, we walk a couple feet and we see the rock formation that looks like a snake head, and even looks like it could potentially have like perfect circles on each side that look like it was etched in to look like a snake head. Is like the river looks like a snake, the names of things invoke snake. And so there's like this spring and then this huge rock formation that looks like an animal, and then we keep seeing things that look like snakes. And also there's an ancient wall in the area, ancient stone wall. So I see the path, the wall, the spring, a formation that looks like a snake. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this has to be an ancient sacred site. And as we keep walking, we get to the bottom of the path, and it's pretty much takes you exactly to this point where it's the confluence of two rivers that feed into another river. So the spring that we saw would have fed into this creek that feeds into the river, just like the site in New York. And at the base of the river, there was a deposit of sand and quartz, and also what looked like an ancient mound right at the bottom of this. And it's not marked, but it very much so looks like a mound, and it looks like it even has a pointy top. And I sort of think not all the mounds were for burial. Some of them were, but I also feel like the fact that so many of these ancient sites around the world have pyramids, and these pyramid tops would have been capped with something. Like in ancient Egypt, they found pyramid caps. So I imagine it as a place that generates energy. And I felt like this area, just like New York, was generating energy. I mean, you could just see it by the fact that it was abundant in the animals and the landscape and all these different features, and just the way that it made us feel was really powerful. In the mounds in West Virginia, they happen to be places where there's gold and coal. And then in New York, the Donskomer Point, where they saw the ceremony going on, right on that location, literally right on that location, is an energy power plant. So it just seems to all sort of coincide that these places that are energetic seem to have an electromagnetic field that is stronger. And a place with a strong magnetic field, you can understand that might push up water for spring to come up, and then there's more plants and then more animals. So it's just truly amazing, and I feel so blessed to be able to explore this earth. So in conclusion, I think what these sites say is how there are pyramids, which I think could have possibly generated energy. And so going to these sites makes me think back on our ancestors and the power that they had and potential advanced civilizations that they had, and I think it helps understand ourselves and the world around us. These gifts from the heavens, these places that were connected to the divine essence of life and God's glory and gifts. So, yes, I hope we can pray to protect these sites and appreciate these sites, and pray for love and compassion for everyone all the time, so that we can see these things more intuitively and empathetically and stay in touch with how it affects us and our own worldview. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye!